Hi, I'm Wendy from Los Angeles. Welcome to our 100th 21-day session. That's so exciting that we've had this time with you. If there's anyone who's new joining us today, you can request a breakout room to learn more on one-on-one with a person who can help you understand. And also you can catch up by going to our website and seeing past programs if you'd like to do that. If you're interested in signing up for a mentor or changing your mentor, you can do that tonight as well. We really suggest it. It's super helpful for getting established in Sahaja. So our goal for this whole session is to continue establishing a silence, a longer amount of silence inside of us. So we're going to be continuing on with that, and also discussing the witness state and the role that being able to go into the witness state goes towards helping you be more silent. So that's going to be exciting for tonight. So I wanted to introduce our second presenter for the meditation at the end, Sarvesh. Sarvesh, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sarvesh Singh. Based in Ashburn, Virginia, and been practicing Sahaj for a long time. I'm so glad that you all could join today for this session. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome to have you here tonight and to be together. So I'm going to start now. Before we start the meditation, just wanted to share some kind of practical approach to Sahaja Yoga, which has always been how I found it very helpful to look at Sahaja Yoga as a series or a group of tools that we have that help us to deal with and cope with everyday life. They're very practical because when you establish these qualities of the chakras, when you are able to go deeply silent and find peace, and also when you're able to step back from your own reactions and go into the witness state, it just makes life so much better and so much easier to handle. I always find the most comforting thing that I find is that if I'm having something really difficult that I have to deal with, it turns out when you're in the middle of something difficult is a great time to practice your witness state. Because if you're having a hard time, you may be finding going quiet inside a little elusive, might be difficult. But the witness state, you can always practice it. Always step back. Step back from whatever's happening and watch it. And the beautiful thing about when you're watching is when you're in the witness state. And who's doing the watching? That's the question, right? It's not your mind, because you're watching your thoughts and you're watching your emotions. So it doesn't have anything to do with either right side or left side channel. It's your spirit. So your spirit, it is what is able to step back and watch. And it's that detachment that really helps you to go quiet. So we're going to talk tonight about the relationship between the left heart and the center Vishuddhi. We always talk about the Vishuddhi when we're talking about establishing the witness state. But like many things in Sahaja Yoga, it helps to work on more than one chakra at a time to establish a quality. So when we're working on establishing the witness state, we need to give support to also to our left heart, which is our physical heart here, and support to the central Vishuddhi here. So the spirit is in our left heart, and it gives us that detachment, that ability to step back. And the Vishuddhi gives us that ability to see the big picture, to feel part of something whole and complete and greater than ourselves. And the combination of those two things are very helpful in establishing the witness state. So the beautiful thing about, it's one of my favorite topics, the beautiful thing about the witness state is that it really helps us with our silent meditation as well. The two things go together. And this is why. When we're in the witness state, we don't react and we don't catch. So we don't pull negative vibrations into our own chakras. And if we are practicing the witness state throughout the day, then we are keeping our chakras pretty clean. So when it's time to meditate in the morning or in the evening when we're meditating, it's easier to go quiet. And our subtle system stays cleaner. And we don't have to constantly clear the chakra over and over again because it doesn't catch. And obviously it takes some time to get to this point, but this is our goal. This is a beautiful goal to have, to strengthen our subtle system, to get to the point where we just really can have fun and enjoy Sahaja Yoga. So if you're having a hard time, if something difficult is happening, it's really hard. I always tease my husband when he gets angry and I say, this is the perfect time to practice your witness state. And he does, and of course when you're angry, it's kind of irritating for someone to say that, but it's the truth. So the beautiful thing of knowing it is that you don't have to be centered all the time to work on things. You just have to have the discipline. So with meditation, we're trying to get out of our own way. We're trying to make space inside. We're trying to not be the doer and not get too involved. But the beautiful thing about establishing the witness state is we can put a little bit of effort into that, in the sense that we remind ourselves all day long, step back. If someone comes in the room, they're being really aggressive with us, remind ourselves, step back. And you get to the point where someone comes in to be really mean to you, and you actually feel sorry for them because they're so upset. And you're just like, oh, you poor thing. I mean, that's terrible. And it's very disarming. And what you'll find is when you're able to do this, that people get pulled into your positive energy instead of you getting pulled into their negative energy. So this is a wonderful thing, and this is a very practical thing in our lives, because we have our beautiful meditation, and then we go out into the world, and it can be crazy out there. But we know, hey, I've got this tool. I'm bringing my tools with me, and I've got the witness state, and I can go for it. Okay, now we're going to start our foot soak, and we're going to begin by raising our kundalini and giving ourselves a bandhan. Now, if we have our shoes on, we're going to want to take those off, and it's great to remove our glasses, just to take the pressure off the Agnya chakra. And we can give vibrations to our foot soak bucket and the water in it, and put our feet in. So let's just begin by closing our eyes and very gently bringing our awareness inside, just inside our bodies, inside our subtle system. So much of the time we're having our attention outside, and this is our chance this is me time. This is time to bring your focus inside and watch what is happening. There may be thoughts. There may be feelings rising and falling. You might have joy in your heart. What's important is that we are watching, stepping back as if we're sitting in the seats of a theater, watching whatever's happening inside of us on a large screen, and there's some distance. And we don't judge. We don't judge what we see, we just watch. The power is in the watching. Let's begin by taking 3 cleansing breaths together. We're going to breathe in deeply and slowly, hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale. And as we breathe out, we just allow all the worrying, all the physical tension, we just release it and let it go from our bodies. So let's take our 3 cleansing breaths together. And once we finish our cleansing breaths, we can very gently, with a very gentle focus, watch the air as we breathe in and out, as it goes in our lungs and goes out of our lungs. We'll just watch our breath for a moment together. Now we can take our right hand and just keep our eyes closed and take our right hand and put it on the left side of our chest, above our physical heart, on the left heart chakra. So many qualities here: love, detachment, joy, wonderful qualities. Tonight, let's desire in our hearts to establish this detachment, this ability to step back, to witness it. And we'll take the mantra for the left heart, which is Shri Shiva Parvati. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shiva Parvati Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. We can take our right hand down, but just keep a very gentle focus in our physical heart. We may be able to feel the chakra relaxing. We may be able to feel vibrations flowing through our heart. Now we can take the palm of our right hand and put it in front of our throat where we swallow. It's really wonderful to support our chakra by giving it vibrations like this. And then if we desire for the chakra to strengthen, it's very powerful. So let's desire in our hearts to establish this witness state, this ability to see the big picture and see ourselves as part of something larger. And when we're ready, we can take our right hand down, but let's keep our focus in our throat chakra. And we'll say the mantra for the central Vishuddhi, which is Shri Radha Krishna. So we'll sing that together now. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Radha Krishna Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Now again, let's step back a little bit. Keep our eyes closed. And watch ourselves from a distance as if we are watching ourselves from above. Sitting in our chair, any physical discomfort, any tension in the chakras, we're just watching from a little distance. Now we can sit and we'll just have a silent meditation for a few minutes together. No need for an intense focus, just a relaxed focus, very gently above the top of your head. So now would be a great time to rinse our feet, and we'll just put our foot soaks to the side while we listen to Shri Mataji's talk. And this talk, in this talk, she's actually talking about a memory that she has of a public protest in front of her house in Mumbai. And she starts right off in the middle of talking about that. So I just wanted to bring you up to speed with that.
I remember I was not very old at that time, but we were living in a house very close to the secretariat where they had a strike and they were asking for separate Maharashtra or something. So the police was standing there, and by the order of the chief minister, they were shooting at everyone who was coming. Anyone who passed through that road, they were shooting, they were enjoying a shooting game, all of them. I saw all this and I just couldn't bear it. I just went down and asked the police to stop it. They stopped. You'll be amazed, they stopped. Then I carried those people who were wounded up in my house, took out their bullets and all that, called the ambulance and saved them. But for that, one thing was there, I was in a state of witnessing. So you become fearless. There is no fear at all once you learn how to have the state of witnessing. Because when you are not witnessing, you get disturbed, you get upset, you get excited, you may join also this wrong time of people. But if you are in a state of witnessing, that itself is a power. And that witnessing state helps you to win over so many difficulties of other people. So this is the best way to bring non-violence. In violent places, you go and stand steadily there, facing all the things that are happening, and that witness state acts and stops that kind of a violence that is going on. But witness state is not a mental state. It is a state of a spiritual ascent where you become a witness. Best way to practice witness state is not to criticize anyone. Not to criticize. I've seen people who are all the time criticizing others. They cannot criticize themselves, so they start criticizing others. So much so that they don't even see what's wrong with them. They don't even say what wrong they have done to others, because they think they have a right to criticize others, and they enjoy this criticism very well. Actually, there's nothing to be criticized. You just watch and see for yourself. That's all is your right. You have no right to criticize anyone or anything. But some people think if you do not criticize, then it will go on like this and it will never stop. It's not that. Once you watch the thing yourself, only just watch, Your attention itself is enlightened now. With that enlightened attention, you can just watch and stop the nonsense that is there. But we are always conscious that we are something great and we have to do this and we have to do that. Under these circumstances, what happens is that you become another problem. Because what can you do? You can't do anything. But what you can do is to watch. By watching and by just seeing things as they are, you really develop a very different state of being. Firstly, all such people who are just witness, what happens to them is very interesting, that their memory loss is much less. Because whatever they see becomes like a picture to them. Like we can say, they can tell you even the color, the folding, everything. Whatever they see is so much in their mind like a photo, and they can tell you exactly what they have seen. And your memory is not lost. While if you react onto everything, your memory becomes horrible. And people are so much habituated with reacting. Like I know of one gentleman, he had a habit of reacting, and I was going with him in the car. So he was reading every advertisement, every name of every shop, every person, everything. He was just telling who is that, what is that, this, that. I was wondering, look at this gentleman, he's talking so much, what will happen to him? But ultimately I found that all such people who are all the time reacting become, actually they have, I think, senile decay, or maybe they become forgetful, very forgetful. But this is not the only loss we have. With this kind of people, when they are formed into a collective, they can be very dangerous people. Because with that kind of a nature, they have to do something. They must do something, because after all, they are combined together for a purpose, or we can say for some reactions which all of them have built up. In small things, in big things, you will find people do like that. And some people who are very much developed in this kind of behavior can collect lots of people and do any amount of harm to others. So, this power of witnessing, you all should develop. Try to develop it. That when you are reacting, stop reaction. Stop reaction about everything. You will be amazed. You will find yourself a very, very powerful person, in the sense you will have no ambitions, you will have no desires, you will have no special fondness or anything. But just you are witnessing the drama. It's very interesting to witness also, because then you understand the humor behind everything, you understand the stupidity behind everything, you understand also how people have been so violent, and you just laugh at it. You don't get upset, excited, nothing. Just laugh at it. After some time, you will be amazed. Your witness state will increase. And when in the collective, all of you have that witness state, you can do wonders without doing anything, without saying anything. without acting. Only your presence itself can work it out. I don't say that it will have effect on everyone, no, can't say. But most of the people, any person who is in that state, he is the one who brings peace, he brings joy. Your value system should be based on such things like love. Where you can get love, you should be attached to that person. Where you get a realized soul, you should be attached to them. And not to worldly people who think no end of themselves and think that they are great. They may be. But to you, as Sajogis, is the love of people which should be respected, should be understood, and to be felt. But if you have no witness state, then you will see how much money this man has got, how many cars he has got, what clothes he is wearing. All these considerations will be there. But in a witness state, you will understand that you will get vibrations from this person. You will understand that person is spiritual. And that's how you will stick to such a person. You will not go for artificial things, but a genuine personalities that are there. May God bless you all. Thank you.
So now let's sit for a couple of minutes of silence. We'll just close our eyes and put our attention at the top of our heads. We can keep our attention at the seventh chakra, the Sahasrara, while we listen to a recording, Shobana playing the Veena, which is a very spiritual instrument and should help us to go more deeply into meditation. If we lower the
So I'll collectively remain in the silence at the top, keeping our attention at the top of our head. Let's slowly move our attention towards our the base of our spinal cord, keeping our attention at the base of our spinal cord, the first chakra, the Muladhara chakra, the chakra which supports our subtle system, the chakra which gives us the wisdom and innocence. Keeping our attention at our Muladhara chakra, the first chakra, let's say within ourselves few times, at least 3 to 4 times, Mother, please establish wisdom and innocence within me so that I can establish the witness state within me. Gently and slowly take your attention now to your lower abdomen area, the area of your second chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra. Over here, we will say within ourselves few times, Mother, please bestow upon me the divine knowledge and enlightened attention so that I can establish the witness state within me. After saying 3 to 4 times, just keep your attention on your second chakra. Slowly and gently move your attention to your stomach area, to your navel area, which is the third center, the Nabhi chakra. Keeping our attention at our Nabhi chakra. Let's say within ourselves a few times, Mother, please establish peace, joy, and satisfaction in me and the whole humanity, so that witness state is established within me and the whole humanity. Gently take your attention now to the bottom end of your rib cage, which is the upper abdomen area. Keeping our attention on the whole circle, the huge big circle around our void, around our stomach area, which is the void area, we would say within ourselves few times, Mother, please help me and guide me towards becoming the perfect spiritual master, so that I can establish the witness state within me. Gently now take your attention to your heart. Keeping our attention on our heart, let's say a few times within ourselves, while keeping our attention completely on our heart, Mother, please fill my heart with love, compassion, and confidence, so that I can establish the witness state within me. Slowly bring your attention to your neck area, which is the Vishuddhi chakra, the fifth chakra. Keeping our attention on our Vishuddhi chakra, we would say within ourselves few times, Mother, please fill my Vishuddhi chakra or fifth chakra with complete sweetness and madhurya, and help me become a detached witness to the divine drama that is happening within me and around me. Slowly let's take our attention to our forehead and the back of the head. Let's say within ourselves, Mother, please dissolve all my ego, anger, and reactions so that I can establish the witness state within me. Let's slowly take our attention to the top of our head, the fontanelle bone area, the area which was soft in our childhood. Keeping our attention there, let's say within ourselves, Mother, please establish the connection of my Kundalini and the divine power. Let me feel that flow of love at my Sahasrara or at the fontanelle bone area. After saying few times, just remain in silence and enjoy the divine vibrations, divine love falling at your fontanelle bone. Let's collectively raise the energy of our three channels and put ourselves into the bandhan. Over to you, Wendy.
Wonderful, wonderful session, Sarvesh. Really enjoyed that. We have a few announcements that we're going to make this evening. Before you go, there's one really important one, which is regarding our upcoming seminar in New Jersey, where we're all getting a chance to get together. Even I am coming from Los Angeles, so you have absolutely no excuse. So it's going to be on the weekend of the 4th and 5th. The main thing for you to know is that it's filling up, and we really need to have you register by this Saturday morning, if possible, if you'd like to come. And we're going to put the link to do that registration in the chat to try to make it easier for you. And when you go to that link, you'll see all the details on there about the seminar. And this is the meditation center, and Shri Mataji's house is here as well. And it's just the most vibrational place. And the wonderful thing about going to a place where Shri Mataji has spent time and established very strong vibrations is it helps you to feel it. And that's what it's all about. Let's feel more vibrations and go deeper in our meditation. So it should be really lovely being together. So our session that we're in right now is going to be closing up, and the last night will be on November 7th. We still have a few more sessions together, and following that we'll continue the Wednesday, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday foot soaks, which should help us just to stay clear. And this is a good time to get together with our mentors. So our next class, our next session on Sunday is going to be about the 3 knots of obstruction, which oftentimes are called the 3 knots of illusion, because they're very hard to clear, and they are things that once we master our chakras and our channels, then we go on to master these 3 knots, and we'll just be introducing those to you. Obviously, we'd love to have you request a mentor, or if you need an extra mentor, or you'd like a change of mentor, you can submit that to us, and we'll do our very best to match you with someone hopefully in your area, or at least someone who has a lot in common with you. And now is our chance to decide if we would like to go into an individual breakout room with a Sahaja yogi who can help us one-on-one answer our questions and help us establish a program on how to work on ourselves and how to deepen. But if you'd like, we would love also for you to stay in the main room, and Sarvesh and I are going to talk about our own experiences with a witness state, I'm going to talk about some practical examples of how the witness state has super helped me, and Sarvesh has an experience he had with Shri Mataji, which is nice. So please, let's have Sarvesh come back up on the screen with us, and we're going to open with a question that's really a simple question, but different to each of us, and that is, what does being in the witness state mean to you, Sarvesh?
It's a very interesting question and very intriguing as well. It has always meant that I'm able to witness the divine drama that is happening within my life, as well as within the society in general, and without any reactions, without disturbing my mental and spiritual peace. That's something which is important. So I try my best to avoid anything which disturbs my spiritual peace.
Yes.
What about you, Wendy?
It's a very deep question. It's one of those kind of like, what is the sound of one hand clapping questions that is a conundrum. But I would say that the witness state is profound because it keeps you in the present moment. It allows you to be fully present. And even if you are experiencing things that want to pull your attention away from the witness state, that is also a wonderful thing, because you can practice it, practice staying in the witness state. So for me, the witness state is the one thing that really, really helped me deepen. So I was able to go so much deeper and keep my chakras clear. I'll explain a little bit about that, but mainly if you're not reacting all the time, you're not catching your chakras. Catching is a term for when you draw negative vibrations into your chakras. And it gets a little boring to clear and clear and clear your chakras over and over again. So if you establish this witness state, there's less of that. So the next question is, how have you been able to improve your ability to be in the witness state over the years that you've been practicing Sahaja Yoga? And to please give us an example or two. And I think you have an example, I'm hoping, with Shri Mataji, because I didn't really think of one with Shri Mataji. So.
It's a very interesting example because it taught me how Divine teaches us at different times, different things. I was a young kid, just 19 years old. I was in my first year of college, and I was very much wanting to go into Air Force as a computer software engineer at the time. And there's a exam which happens way back in I'm talking about India at the time, and there is like an exam which is 4 level of exams. And I asked Shri Mataji whether should I give this exam or not, and she said go ahead. And I was intrigued because her answer was in positive, and I said okay, I will go and give this exam. And interestingly enough, that exam was not happening in my city, but it was like nearly 30 hours of train journey for me to go there and give that exam. So I take this train, travel 30 hours, and then go and give this exam. I clear up the first level of exam. There are 4 exams expected over the period of 3 days. And at the end of my first day, they had already selected only 30% of the students from the whole lot. And I had cleared up that first level of exam. So I was pretty happy about it. But interestingly enough, the instructors came back to me and said that you are in a very specific course, which is covering so much of knowledge, yet your course is only 3 years. And we would not like you to take further exams, because we would like to take people who have done the further things. And I was very intrigued, as well as thinking what's going on here. And so I had to take a train back 30 hours. I was supposed to travel 3 days later, and I had to travel back 30 hours again the very next day. But what I realized over the period of time is that Divine wanted me to move to US and at the time. And had I joined Air Force, I would not have had that chance, and I would not have been able to move. So it was very interesting for me to be able to witness all this divine drama which was happening to me at that young age. And I learned a lot in that process, that you have to, even though the things might not be happening as per what your wish is or as per what your desire is, but learn to witness the divine drama, because what finally happens is good for your spiritual growth. Because you might not learn at that time that what is going on at this time, but over the period of time you learn that the divine was trying to teach you how to witness what it is trying to do in your life.
Wow, that is such an amazing story. And it is so true that oftentimes we think we know what's best, or we think we know what absolutely should happen, and it doesn't go that way. And something really auspicious and positive comes out of it instead, and it addresses the issue of control, which is pretty much a myth. You can't control the outside world, so this witness state allows us to witness what's happening in the outside world. The only thing we can have some control over is right here, inside of us, and that's why this meditation is so powerful, because we are able to have this mastery that Sarvesh has been talking about. And you've experienced that over the period you've been meditating. Your witness state has increased or improved?
Yes, it has improved in different aspects and of my phase of life. I've been meditating now plus for more than 40 plus years, and there have been times which have been very challenging, and there have been times when I had to like step back, as you were mentioning in in your meditation. You have to learn to step back and witness what is divine trying to teach you, because when you do that, it becomes easier to learn, it becomes easier to witness, it becomes easier to see what divine is trying to teach you. And in that process, it is very important that you step back and detach yourself. And many times it is very difficult actually to detach. But when we come to the third point, we will talk about some of the tricks or the trade that I had used to get to that.
Nice. That's nice. Yeah, I've also meditated for a very, most of all of my adult life. I got my realization when I was 21, coming up on 40 years in the fall. And there's been a big difference with this witness state. I can say I always had very, very deep meditations, but for the earlier part of my time in Sahaja, I would catch on my chakras, and I would have to continually clear and clear with candles. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's important to learn how to nurture the chakras, how to clear them out if they get caught. But the beautiful thing about the witness state is that when I was about 42, it pretty much saved my life, because I developed I had trauma as a child that I didn't remember, and I developed a pretty severe case of PTSD, which is no fun.
Wow.
And I found it very difficult to meditate and to be at the level in Sahaja that I had always been at. And in the end, it was establishing the witness state and I have a heart condition I was born with, so the doctors were very worried about how much pressure this was putting on my heart. So I thought, okay, I better do this all the time. Nothing like a little motivation.
Yeah.
So I just tried to be in the witness state all the time, or as much as I could. And no matter what difficult emotional experience or memory or trigger or whatever was happening, I was learning to step back and to always watch it. And eventually what happens when you watch your triggers is that they go away. And it's very much an aha moment when that happens. So then ever since then, pretty much I try to spend, and I'm not bragging about it, as much of my time in the witness state as possible. And what's come out of that is just that my chakras, my channels are cleaner, and I'm really enjoying my life a lot more, which I guess is the bottom line. What's more practical than having fun and enjoying your life, right?
Yes. And the divine nudges that we get in this spiritual journey of Sahaja Yoga meditation I would say, is the key process. And the nudges that divine gives us at different times when we forget what we are supposed to actually do, when we are so much involved in that situation, that we forget that there are tools available to us to work with.
Yeah, and I wanted to give like a real practical experience that I had where the witness state, yet again, I would like to say, probably saved my life. When, let's see, my son was 6, so I would have been 39. I was on the 101 freeway, and for those of you who don't know the 101 freeway, it's one of the major freeways in LA, and where I was on it had 4 lanes. And a driver decided that they were going to hit the front of my car at 70 miles an hour from the side, the front fender. And there was a lot of traffic on the road, and I started going across the freeway sideways. And my brain was absolutely useless. All I could think was, I'm having an accident. This is an accident. This is dangerous. That's not very helpful, right? So then what I did was, but I was watching it, right? I was watching it. And through the whole thing, I just put my attention on my spirit, Shri Mataji, and managed to go across all 4 lanes of the freeway and regain control of the car and stop it before rolling it on the hill on this side. And when the police officer came, he said, okay, well, let me get this straight. You went sideways across the freeway in rush hour traffic at 70 miles an hour, and you are alive.
And you went through the 4 lanes.
Yeah. And I said, yeah. And he said, because I called them because they'd ruined my car, and run away, right? And he said, I don't know why you called us. You should just be, you're a very lucky lady. That's what he said. So it was a case in which, because I was able to just witness what was going on, I was able to stay calm and do all the right things that I needed to do. So anyway, that's my little, it's not nearly as exciting as being with Shri Mataji, but it's my little.
It's a very important experience, because it teaches us that whatever might be the situation, the divine is looking after us. And the way divine is looking after us sometimes amazes us. And that is a big lesson in our lives. That is what I would say.
Absolutely. I mean, and there are times when you just have to be so grateful that you have this, because people don't have this, and it is so helpful, and it helps us to succeed. It helps us to succeed at work. It helps us to stay safe. It helps our health if we take it seriously and do everything. It helps our health. So we have one last question. I can see Sarvesh is already very much excited about this question, which is, what suggestions do you have that might help others to get more established in being in the witness state?
So something that works at a spiritual level, I would say, and then I'll talk about something which helps in the material side. One of the things that has helped me is just working on, when you are in a situation where you feel that you need to make change in the other person whom you are handling or dealing with. Let's say you are in an interview, or you are with somebody who's kind of a little bit aggressive, and you want them to soften their tone or things like that. One of the tricks of the trade that has really worked with me is just giving a bandhan, the circular motion on their heart. And just that trick more or less melts their heart and changes their behavior. And that happens in literally real time. When you start doing it, their behavior changes within like minutes. And it's so amazing, this trick, that you can see the change in somebody's behavior, somebody's tone, and how they melt away, and their complete behavior changes towards you. That's something which has really amazed me personally. So just giving a bandhan to their heart with just the attention, and that has worked at a spiritual level. But at a material level, I would, if I talk about the material things, just taking a little bit of honey as well as a little bit of butter in my tea has really helped me out. That is something which has really helped me out at the Vishuddhi level, and that has really helped me out on the witness state. That's my suggestion.
So that's very soothing to this chakra to have that. So, it's some of the treatments for the chakras also are hard for other chakras. So if your main issue is a hot liver, then maybe just go with the honey. I don't know, but you have to be your own guru and decide, well, does that help me? And try these things and see how it works for you. I think the main thing to establishing the witness state is just it's the one thing that you can really put your attention on during the day when you're out in the world. So remember, when you're going through your day and something difficult happens, remember, oh, great. All of a sudden the difficult things become lovely because it's like, oh, great. It's just a chance for me to practice the witness state. And then just step back. And it doesn't mean that you don't go through the reaction, but you're watching yourself going through the reaction. And when you watch your reactions, what happens is eventually when there's an emergency or when someone is extremely unpleasant or aggressive, you just don't react. And when you don't react, when someone's angry and you don't react, what do you think happens? There's no argument. It takes two people to argue. It takes one person being aggressive and the other person reacting. And if you don't, it melts away. And like he's saying, you can melt their heart with that. Like you're just looking at them and you're just like, oh, poor you. You're so upset. What can I do to help? And they're so shocked that you're just being so sweet that they snap out of it, right?
Yeah.
This is the power of the witness state, right, Sarvesh? It's that you are able to, so what I suggest is just don't give up. And maybe, and you're not going to be able to witness everything. Sometimes there's a really important time when we're trying to witness and we just can't. But that's okay. We're not perfect. We're flawed human beings. We're not going to do it right all the time. Yeah. But if you do it enough of the time, it's like you get this amazing reward in your chakras being clearer, and in your ability to go, you actually can go deeper into the silence because your chakras are clearer. They're cleaner, and it makes it easier for the Kundalini to rise. It makes it easier for you to stay at Sastra, which is the whole goal. And I know a lot of people yogis and people who've meditated for years, and the biggest thing they don't do is work on the witness state. So they meditate all the time, they clear their chakras and whatever, but they don't work on the witness state. And so they haven't gone as deep as they haven't attained whatever goals they might have set. So since you're starting out, I would suggest this is a great tip that we can give you, having learned the hard way. Yes. Start at the beginning, doing it from the beginning, right?
Yes. And as Shri Mataji mentioned in her talk, just when you laugh it off in your heart to the situation which is happening, you don't need to laugh loud, but if you are laughing at what the other person is going through, in the sense that the anger or the frustration that is happening, just laugh it at within your heart, that you don't need to, that whatever that person is being frustrated at, it should not affect you. So within your heart, make your heart stronger so that it can laugh it out, all that pain or hurt that person might be giving you at that.
There's the connection between the heart and the Vishuddhi again, which is very powerful. And, of course, what else do we feel when we keep our heart clear by not reacting? We feel love. We have compassion. Yeah. We have all the good stuff. We feel joy. So this is all part and parcel. It's all connected to this witness state and to the pure state of the central Vishuddhi. So I guess that's the end of our talking on and on. And it's our favorite subject. It's what we love the most. So we'll go on forever. But anyway, what we're going to do now is we'll play. You're welcome to stay on. There'll be a little bit of music playing. And anyone who wants to stay for a few minutes and continue meditating, by all means. It's been lovely to be with all of you. Have a good evening.